Today we're going to talk about an important psychiatric complication of dementia, hallucinations. First, we're going to explain how to define these symptoms. Then we're going to explain to you exactly what causes them in the brain. And finally, we're going to describe to you the best ways to manage these troublesome symptoms in your residence.
Hallucinations are caused by brain malfunction. They are produced by damage to the sensory cerebral cortex, the area of the brain that interprets specific sensory information. To the people who experience hallucinations, they are not all in the head, but they are very real experiences. Hallucinations aren't real, of course, but they are real in the sense that the brain interprets misinformation or wrong signals as though they were real. A false message is conveyed, maybe that someone is singing in the bathroom, and the brain takes the message and responds as though the stimulus was real. The brain is unable to understand that it is not hearing a song in the shower. Of course, we can't experience a hallucination secondhand, but it's sort of like a nightmare or a good dream. With hallucinations, any of the senses may be involved: sight, sound, touch, smell, taste. Though sound and sight are the most common. Hallucinations feel real even though they are not. Even though they are similar to a dream or nightmare, sleep is not involved. The resident can't be awakened from it, and they can't just snap out of it. Up to 1/4 of the residents who are in the middle stages of dementia may experience hallucinations, so understanding how and why they occur is vital to good caregiving. Arguing or trying to convince the resident that they are hallucinating or ignoring the hallucination altogether is never effective, and it just won't work. Trying these can actually make matters worse. You can't convince someone that they are hallucinating no matter how hard you try, nor should you even try. The best way to deal with a resident is to reassure them if they are frightened, and distract them with something less distressing if possible. For example, when a resident becomes upset, try to keep them busy with a game or turn their attention to the television. Try to imagine what it would be like to hear or see something that wasn't there, like someone who has dementia. You are walking down an empty street at night when you hear a noise behind you. You turn around but see nothing. You continue down the dark street when you hear the noise again, only closer. This time, as you turn around, you see the figure of a person ducking into the shadows behind you. You realize that you are indeed being followed and quicken your pace. But as you begin to walk faster, the footsteps behind you get faster. You are afraid. You try to wake up from this nightmare, but you can't because you are already awake. How would you feel? Please stop the tape and think about how you would feel under these circumstances and discuss it with other participants. Hallucinations are caused by brain malfunction. Residents should not be reasoned with, argued with, or ignored. They should be calmed, reassured, distracted, and redirected. All hallucinations should be reported to nurses and doctors immediately. Psychotic symptoms may produce agitation, resistance, or aggression, though not all symptoms are unpleasant. Many residents will try to cover up or pretend that they didn't have an hallucination. Medications can decrease the frequency of hallucination or stop them altogether. Antipsychotic drugs calm the mind down, but can create side effects including sedation, unsteadiness, clumsiness, confusion, irritability, and poor appetite. Side effects should always be reported to the nurse or doctor.
What? You were expecting a genie? Wrong bottle. I'm Medi. Medication. You've probably heard of me. You know, when your residents have behavioral changes or don't feel well, you call on me. It's just that simple. Okay, Well, maybe not that simple. Did I forget to mention my brothers? Great. Here they come now. Whoa! That's Bumpy. Uh-oh. And watch out for Grumpy. That's Dopey there. And this is Snoozy. You see, no matter where I go, my 4 brothers are sure to follow. Well, I call them my brothers. Others like to call them side effects. Either way, we come as a package. So remember, when you call upon me for help, you are calling upon my 4 brothers as well.
Try to imagine what it would be like to hear something that wasn't there, like someone who has dementia. You take a nap one day in your house, and when you wake up, you're in a strange room that you don't recognize. You hear voices saying that you are locked in jail and that you're being given poisonous pills that are going to kill you. You realize that the voices are coming from 3 strangers across the room. They see you notice them, and they begin to approach you. One of the persons holds out a couple of pills and a glass of water. How would you feel? Would you take that pill from the stranger? Please stop the tape and think about how you would feel under these circumstances and discuss it with other participants. It is important to remember that hallucinations aren't intentional. They are very real experiences that occur from brain malfunction. Residents should not be reasoned with, argued with, or ignored. They should be calmed, reassured, distracted, and redirected. Hallucinations should be reported to the nurse or doctor immediately.
Welcome back to the show. We're here on the streets to find out just what the general run-of-the-mill person thinks about this subject. Let's see if we can find someone. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Jake Mento. I was wondering if you could take a minute to answer a few questions and just tell us how you would respond to these situations. Great. Here's the first question. Mr. Stone, a 75-year-old resident with Alzheimer's disease, informs you that he has seen his dead brother in the room. The resident is very distressed by this sighting and demands to call the sheriff. What's the best intervention for this resident?
I would call his sister to confirm that he's in fact dead.
I think I might have to get loud with him and reassure him that his brother is dead.
I would assure them that I was genuinely concerned, but they need to calm down right now. They need to go back to sleep.
Call the EMS for emergency transfer to the psychiatric hospital.
Okay, very good. Question 2. Ms. Rose, a 75-year-old woman, has refused to take her medications. She confides in you that she hears the nurses talking about her in the hallway. The resident states that the nurses are saying that they will poison her. The resident will not take the medicines because she is sure that they contain poison. What's the best intervention for this resident?
Tell the nursing staff that the resident is hallucinating.
Let her know that you will check her frequently and make sure that everything is okay.
I would let them know that I was concerned, talk to them real nice, just make sure they were real calm.
I would tell the nursing staff that she's hallucinating and reassure her that I will check her more often and let her know that I will listen to her and be sympathetic of her needs.
All right, next question. The nurse will take your information and discuss this with the doctor. What will result from your observations?
The doctor will prescribe her medicine that will improve her quality of life.
The doctor will give her medication that will make her comply more with the staff.
She'll get a prescription that'll lessen the confrontation between her and the staff.
Give her lots of medication, some that help her comply more, and others that will help reduce the confrontation between her and the staff.
Great. Next question. Mrs. Maple, a 79-year-old resident, sees a relative in her room at night. The resident is not disturbed or unhappy about the sighting. The resident reports it to you in a matter-of-fact manner. What is the correct intervention for this resident?
Argue with her so she'll know she's seeing things. I mean, don't tell her she's crazy. Just mistaken and wrong.
I would insist that the nursing staff get medication for her that would eliminate her hallucinations.
I would redirect the resident onto another subject, report the occurrence to my supervisor, and the lady may need medical attention.
I would call the family and let them know that they need to have hospital admission for psychosis.
Sounds good to me. Last question. Mr. Cherry, an elderly gentleman with Alzheimer's disease, becomes alarmed and distressed in the evening. The resident is usually calm and quiet during the daytime. At night, he sees dead people in his room, and sometimes he believes that the room is on fire because he sees flames. This problem began about 3 or 4 months ago, and his distress has worsened over the last week. What should you do?
I think I'd ask admission to a psychiatric hospital.
I would tell the nursing staff about this so they can discuss the symptoms with the doctor. But in the meantime, I would tell him that everything is going to be okay and I'll help him stay safe and away from harm.
I would take his glasses off and turn the lights off, and just to make sure that the people he saw weren't bothering him anymore.
Man, I would call the family immediately and get them to come sit with him because he's been a really big management problem.
Okay, fantastic. You guys were great. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. Well, that's it from here. We'll see you next time on The Jake Minto Show.